Well, good morning, everybody. Got a minute? I want to talk to you more today about misquoted scriptures or scriptures that Christians have gotten wrong for centuries. Last time I came to you talking about how 2 or 3 are gathered in my name really is not a prayer passage, but a church discipline passage of how we deal with sin and conflict. Today I want to talk to you about probably one of the most infamous misquoted scriptures or misused scriptures in all the Bible. I'm going to do 2 of them today because they go kind of hand in hand. And that is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. And then this is probably one of the most miscontextualized, but also misquoted, because the way we say it's not even in the Bible. Have you ever heard the statement, God will not put on you more than you can bear? Well, that statement's not even in the Bible. Okay, but what is in the Bible is 1 Corinthians 10:13, where it says, God will not tempt you more than you are able, but with every temptation, he will give you a means of escape so that way you'll be able to bear it. Meaning, that context of 1 Corinthians 10:13 is temptation, not suffering. And you know, you've heard that a lot. Like, unfortunately, people mean well, like when somebody dies or there's pain or there's death or there's suffering. And what do we say? God will not put on us more than we can bear. Well, that's not even the context. The context of 1 Corinthians 10:13 is temptation. So God will not allow us to be tempted more than we can bear. Why? And with every temptation, he'll give us a means of escape. Why? That way we can get out of the temptation and we won't sin. Okay? So 1 Corinthians 10:13 is talking about temptation, not pain and not suffering. Now, when it comes to pain and suffering, that's one of the contexts of Philippians 4:13. That's why I put these 2 verses together. So when he says, I can do all things, he's not just talking about the good things. I remember years ago, Evander Holyfield used to have Philippians 4:13 on his boxers as he's going into a boxing match, as if to say, God's going to give me the power to, be the champion again, or God's going to give me the power to knock this guy out, or Christians use it to say, God's going to give me the power to start a new business, or God's going to give me the power to be a millionaire, or God's going to be, and most of the time when they use it, it's always about how God's going to bless me to do good things. But Paul says, I've learned to be abased and I've learned to be abound. So whether it's good or whether it's bad, I can do all things. So all things are also the painful things, the tough things, the suffering things, the things that we hate, the things that we don't like. I can do all those things as well. Now, how does that apply today? Whether it's COVID-19, whether it's the wildfires on the West Coast, whether it's hurricanes hitting Alabama or Louisiana, Hurricane Sally, Hurricane Laura, whether it's hurricanes, whether it's your kids are in school virtually and now they're eating all the snacks in the pantry and you ain't got no food in the pantry because all the kids are eating the food. Guess what? And if all 4 of them things are happening at the same time, guess what? I can still go through it. Why? Because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Saints, that's the context of that verse. It's not just the good things, it's also the bad things, the painful things. So good things and bad things, I can take it. Painful things or joyful things, I can take it. Good or bad, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me because God gives me the ability to suffer. That's why there's another scripture that says, it's Christ in me, the hope of glory. And because we have that hope, and because we have Christ, we have the ability to endure. That's why Galatians 5, long suffering is one of the fruits of the Spirit. Why? So we can suffer long. Because we have the gift of the Spirit of long suffering, because we have Christ, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, including the bad things. Okay? And when we say God will not put us more than we can bear, that's not even scriptural, okay? And when we do use that, it ain't talking about long suffering, it's talking about temptation. That's why I put those 2 verses together. So with that, chew on that a little bit, and God bless. Until I see you next time.